Azerbaijan won great respect and authority in the Muslim world. The steps taken related to Islamic solidarity are highly appreciated by the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, as well as by many Muslim countries, and our contribution in this area is very weighty. President Ilham Aliyev emphasized at a cabinet meeting on the results of socio-economic development in 2018 and objectives for the future. The head of state stressed the importance of the partnership priorities document signed between the European Union and Azerbaijan.
Xüsusilə onu vurğulamalıyam ki, Ermənistan-Azərbaycan Dağlıq Qarabağ münaqişəsi ilə bağlı olan
I must especially emphasize that issues related to the Armenian-Azerbaijani Nagorno-Karabakh conflict are becoming very positive. The document expresses support and respect for the territorial integrity, sovereignty of Azerbaijan, and the inviolability of our borders. Thus, the European Union unequivocally demonstrates its opinion on the ways of settling the Armenian-Azerbaijani Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. At the same time, the final declaration adopted last year at the NATO summit also reflected the support and respect for the territorial integrity of Azerbaijan.
Qəbul edilmiş yekun bəyannamədə Azərbaycanın ərazi bütövlüyünə dəstək və hörmət göstərilmişdir.
President also noted that this year the summit of the non-aligned movement will be held in Baku, and Azerbaijan will chair this large organization. The chairmanship in the second largest organization after the UN will further enhance the authority of the country, and at the same time will have a positive impact on the settlement of the Armenian-Azerbaijani Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. One of the important issues of Azerbaijan's foreign policy was the determination of the legal status of the Caspian Sea, Ilham Aliyev stressed. The signed convention is of great importance for resolving the issue, and it's gratifying that the position of official Baku was fully reflected in it. Continuing the theme of the settlement of the Armenian-Azerbaijani Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, Ilham Aliyev recalled that the position remains unchanged. This issue should be resolved only within the territorial integrity of the country. Resolutions of the UN Security Council should be implemented. The Armenian armed forces should immediately withdraw from the occupied lands. Negotiations are held between Armenia and Azerbaijan, and a different format is unacceptable.
Bildiğiniz kimi geçen yıl Ermenistan'da büyük değişiklikler baş verdi.
As you know, last year big changes took place in Armenia. The regime of the criminal junta illegally usurping power for over 20 years fell. An important role in this issue, of course, is played by the aggressive policy of Armenia. Due to this policy, we isolated Armenia from all regional projects. Because of this occupation policy, the economy of Armenia can be said to have collapsed. Azerbaijan has proved to the world the correctness of its policy. I have never concealed this policy, and from various tribunes openly declared that we will use all means to isolate Armenia until our lands are liberated.
Etmək üçün bütün vasitələrdən istifadə edirik və edəcəyik. O vaxta qədər ki, torpaqlarımız azad olunsun.
The president noted that unfortunately some international organizations close their eyes to the regime of the criminal, bloodthirsty junta that has been dominant in Armenia for 20 years.
İndi sual olunur. Necə ola bilər ki,
Now it's asked how it turns out that the international organizations give positive assessments of the presidential and parliamentary elections held in recent years in Armenia with a large-scale fraud. After all, the last parliamentary elections showed that a group of people who illegally seized power could not even get 5% of the vote. This is recognized by all. But why did the activity of the criminal regime, which ascribed more than 50% of the votes to itself in previous years, not become the object of condemnation? Why did the Council of Europe, the European Parliament and all the international organizations talking about democracy, justice turn a blind eye to the shameful picture? Didn't they know that all the elections in Armenia were rigged? Didn't they know that the Armenian people hate the criminal regime? They know perfectly well, but they close their eyes. Why? Because of double standards. It's not a secret for anyone that Armenia has activated cognac diplomacy in the international arena and has bribed many politicians. In previous years, the bribe factor was in the first place in Armenia's foreign policy.
Ermənistanın xarici siyasətində əvvəlki illərdə rüşvət amili birinci yerdəydi.
Ilham Aliyev stressed that these issues should be very seriously investigated by the relevant international bodies. If this doesn't happen, then the current ridiculous statements of some international organizations on justice and human rights will remain absurd statements, the president of Azerbaijan said. Ilham Aliyev also made it clear that there is one way to get Armenia out of the current difficult crisis. This is the normalization of relations with Azerbaijan. And Azerbaijan is ready for this. Armenian armed forces must be withdrawn from the occupied lands, Nagorno-Karabakh and the 7 adjacent regions.